Yo, what's up, guys? Back again with another one of these exercise tier lists. I had fun with the last one, so I figured I would do it again, and hopefully, this can help you guys with some of your programming. Quick reminder of the way I like to train. I like to kind of hit, athletics, aesthetics, and strength and power. So, I try to get a little bit of everything in my training. It is possible, so yeah, that's how I'm going to be ranking these exercises, and hopefully you guys can get some good ideas from this stuff. So let's get started here. First one we got looks like flat dumbbell bench press. I'm going to put that one at A tier. Actually, yeah, I'm going to keep that one at A tier simply because, I love training with dumbbells for chest guys because it allows you to train unilaterally, right? Meaning you're not getting any muscular imbalances from your left and your right side because each one has to support its own weight, and you also get better range of motion when training with dumbbells, so that's going to be good for getting the optimal strength on the muscle, but you're also going to be able to get better shoulder health by training through that length, right? So that, if you train through length, then if something happens, if you get in a hyperextended position, your body's more ready to work its way through that. So I love this one. You can load it up too pretty heavily, and if you fail, it's okay. You could just drop the weight, so it's safe to train this alone. Whereas like a barbell bench press, you would need a spotter with heavier weights. So A tier for that one. Let's get right into the next one. Let's look like flat barbell bench. So basically it's twin here, and I'm gonna give it A tier too. I know like you would think there would be like some differentiation between the two, but the reason why is because this one you can load up, in a way that you can't load up the dumbbell, right? Because odds are you're not going to find dumbbells over 120 in your average gym, right, guys? And if you're really building for strength and if you could just lift a lot, you're going to need more weight, and so that's where the barbell bench comes in. Of course, you want to be more safe when doing this one, right? You want to make sure you have a spotter when doing really, really heavy loads, but it's great for that reason because you can load it up. It's really good for strength, really good for hypertrophy as well. It's the classic, right? It's the one everyone thinks of when they think of training chest, so it's got to be A tier. Next we have cable flies. Cable flies, okay. I'm going to put cable flies at B tier because it's really good for hypertrophy, meaning trying to grow your chest muscle. It's really good for that one. You can also like move the cable up and do these at more of an incline where you're kind of pulling down more towards your belly button just to kind of hit different parts of the chest there. But yeah, really good for getting that squeeze. You can't load it up too heavy, but that's okay because it's really just a hypertrophy movement. So B tier for that one. And what do we got here? Some close grip bench press. I'm going to give that one C tier, guys, only because I kind of look at that more as like a tricep movement before a chest movement. Although I will say, if you're struggling with your flat bench, like for instance, I was stuck at like 265 for a while, guys, and it wasn't until I started incorporating some of these into the end of my sessions that I was able to break through that plateau. So it's really good for that purpose. But as far as training your chest, there's a lot of better options on here. Flat dumbbell flies. I'm going to also give those C tier, and I see that we have the incline dumbbell flies on here, so I'll kind of go through my whole synopsis on that exercise when I get to that one, and I'll kind of explain why I put this one in C tier. So let's just move on for now into the machine press. I'm also going to give that one a C tier, guys, just because there's so many better things you can do for chest. I mean, if you're a beginner in the gym, this isn't a bad place to start because it's safe, but it's just not optimal, right? Like, again, there's just so many better options. But again, if you're new to the gym or you're just trying to get things started here, not a bad idea to start with that one. What do we got here? Cable. This looks like something you would do in like a physical therapy office, guys. This doesn't. I mean, and for rehabilitation purposes, that's good. But I'm looking for more serious stuff. So I'm gonna have to give that one an F tier just because it's not practical if you're really trying to build strength and hypertrophy. Like, again, it's more of just like a rehabilitation exercise. Okay, this one, I don't really have a name for this one. I mean, you guys can see what it is. It's like a clasp grip, and then you're just pushing it straight up. I mean, I've done stuff like this before, but I never knew what to call it. So, whatever you call these, I'm gonna give it a C tier as well, just because, like, it's kind of a risky movement in the sense of like you could just drop the weight, like the weight could slip out of your hands. But on top of that, like you see the guy doing it over here with the dumbbell, so I'll kind of explain why that's a better way to do it. It's good. It's a good squeeze, but I'll explain when I get here why this is more optimal. This looks like incline dumbbell bench press, which is one of my favorite chest movements, guys. S tier. I love this one. It would never leave my routine because one, it's fantastic for building the chest, building the upper chest, right? You guys know I like dumbbells because it allows you to get full range of motion, and it's a much safer option. And I love incline pressing over flat pressing, so it's an S tier for me, guys. Perfect movement. Okay. Next, we have the incline flies. I'll explain why it's better than the dumbbell flies here, and that's because with the incline you get better range of motion, right? So you're gonna get a better stretch on your chest. The more stretch, the more tear in the muscle fiber. More tear in the muscle fiber, the more growth later on. Yada yada yada, right? So that's why it's better. Again, guys, just be safe with this one. Don't go too heavy. It's really good for building that inside of the chest, which is hard for a lot of people to build, but just be safe when doing it. And yeah, it's an A tier for a reason. Okay, now we got the good old push-up here. I'm having a moral dilemma of where I want to rank push-ups. I mean, yeah, they're S tier, guys, right? Because like, what is life without push-ups, right? Like, the first work, you know what I mean? Like, that's the first way probably all of us have trained our chests is by doing some push-ups, you know? And they're never going to go out of style. Of course, there's ways to, like, make them harder. That'll make them more effective. But come on, push-ups are golden. I feel like if I put them in anything less than S tier, it would just be a shame to the fitness industry. So, I love push-ups. Never stop doing them, guys. Great exercise. Okay, what is this guy doing? Is this not... This guy looks like... Oh, is this like just Smith machine bench press? It's just a safer way to do regular bench press, but like, I don't know, I kind of touched on bench press already, so I'm just going to put it in an F tier because like, just be careful when training this and like train properly with proper form and build up your strength, and you won't have to do this. So that's why I'm going to put it in an F tier. Okay, here we go. My favorite chest exercise. I don't know if I said incline. I don't know if I said this one was my favorite, but this is like my actual favorite. Like dips, guys. Nothing builds your chest better than dips, in my opinion, of course. I saw my best results with doing this. And of course, body weight exercises are pretty important with building strength, with building power, aesthetics, athletic ability is super important to master your own body weight. Dips are the golden standard, in my opinion, for chest exercise. It's how you build that swoop under here, which a lot of people try to get for when we're talking about aesthetics. And yeah, not really anything much better than dips, in my opinion, for chest. Okay, finishing up here. Incline barbell press. I'll put it here. Again, guys, I'd rather you just do this, but this allows you to add more weight than you can doing in this. Kind of like similar to these two, right? But it's less range of motion, so it's good. It's, you know, fantastic for building your upper chest, but in my personal preference, the dumbbell is going to take the cake there. Pullovers for chest. I've always looked at these as more of a back exercise, so I'm going to put it in... I mean, there is chest activation. It's a good stretch. It's not something, again, like it's called a pullover, right? And, you know, if you guys train push-pull legs, like, you wouldn't put this in your push day, which is your chest day, you know? And for that reason, like, I don't consider it a chest exercise. So, I don't know. You guys maybe feel different about this one, but actually I'm going to put it to F tier. I just don't look at it as a chest exercise. I know some people do, and that's great, but screw it. It's my tier list. Okay, this, again, I don't have a name for it, but remember we were talking about this one. I'm going to explain why I think this is better. And it's because, one, it's safer. You know, you have a better grip on the dumbbells, so you don't have to worry about dropping them. You can do it at a higher weight load, meaning just heavier dumbbells, and you get a better contraction because you're training unilaterally, right? So it's an alright exercise, guys. I don't really care for it. But like, it's not a bad way to do, like, I would do it as a finisher, you know what I mean? At the end of my chest session, just grab like, I'll grab like 35s and just do like 3 sets to failure and just kind of burn out the chest that way. It's all right for that. Anything else, it's whatever. Oh, so I see this is Smith machine incline bench. All right, enough of the stupid Smith machines. All right, so this is regular incline bench. Again, everything I said before, right? Like, yeah, you can add more weight and it's good for that reason, but pretty much any other reason, I would prefer you do dumbbell. And it's not to say never do this. Like I mainly do this, but there will be times where I go to do this just to kind of see where my numbers are, just to build up some more strength. But then I always find my way working back over here, guys. So it's not to say never do this, but, you know, you got to play around with things. Decline bench press, I'm going to put it at a B tier. It's actually, this is kind of one I've had a love-hate relationship with, and I've gone back and forth many times in terms of, like, you know, how I feel about it. Do I think it's good? Do I think it's not good? And ultimately, it is good. It's just not, you know, it's not the highest return on investment for for the work it makes you do. And it can be a little bit of a risky movement, too. So, it's not bad. I recommend anyone give it a try, see how you feel with it. But again, it's like you got all these better options up here. And the last one, floor press. This is really, guys, if you're just trying to really work on your strength and improving your power with the bench press. It's more, you know, so I look at it more as like a training specialty, almost the way I look at like close grip bench press. So I'm going to put it in C tier for that reason. You know, it's not a bad place to start if you're getting comfortable with flat benching, but a lot of better options. All right, so that's the chest tier. I think I gotta do legs next, right? Because it only makes sense. So I'm gonna get that one situated for you guys soon, and I'll catch you when I'm finished with that. All right, peace out, guys.